What if a material that most people overlook, something usually discarded without a second thought, could actually be transformed into one of the most refined luxury resources on the market? This single question opens a doorway into a hidden world of industrial mastery, where ordinary fish skin becomes a premium material sought by high-end designers. Inside the salmon leather industry, nothing is random. Every step is calculated, every technique perfected, and every decision driven by decades of research that turned a humble raw material into a symbol of craftsmanship and sustainability. When you see a luxurious wallet, a designer handbag, or a pair of high-end shoes made from salmon leather, what you are really seeing is the final chapter of a long and meticulous industrial journey. In these factories, the process begins long before the machines start humming. It starts with experts who understand the molecular nature of salmon skin, its unique fiber structure, and the potential locked inside each delicate layer. This transformation is not just about tanning or coloring. It is about engineering flexibility, resistance, texture, and visual richness that rivals some of the most prized exotic leathers in the world. The truth is that behind every luxurious piece lies an intricate choreography of technology, biological science, and artisanal precision working together in perfect synchrony. Now think about your own perception of luxury materials. Would you ever imagine that something considered waste by most industries could become a premium commodity for global fashion houses? This is why understanding the complete manufacturing process changes everything. It reveals the hidden value, the innovation, and the human expertise that elevate salmon leather to a new category of luxury. What you are about to see exposes the backstage of a transformation that few people ever witness up close. Before we move forward, share your thoughts. Have you ever considered how complex the journey behind a material like this actually is? Comment below. Let me know your experience or curiosity about luxury manufacturing, and make sure to like this video and check if you are already subscribed to the channel, because what you will discover next may truly surprise you. And as we continue, the deeper layers of this industrial world begin to unfold in ways most people never imagine. As this transformation begins to unfold inside the factory, the first decisive stage is the selection of the salmon skins themselves, a process far more technical and rigorous than most people imagine. Quality in the luxury market starts long before the leather even touches a tanning drum. Specialists trained to read every detail examine each skin as if it were a rare specimen, evaluating thickness, structural integrity, fiber orientation, and the subtle patterns that will later define the unique visual signature of the final product. It is here that the difference between a premium material and a rejected one is determined, and the criteria are uncompromising. Not every salmon is suitable for this level of refinement. Variations in habitat, feeding, handling, and even water temperature influence the strength and elasticity of the skin. The factory relies on suppliers who follow strict guidelines to ensure that the raw material arrives in optimal condition, preserving the natural collagen network that gives salmon leather its distinctive durability. A single tear, irregularity, or inconsistency in the scales can alter the performance of the entire piece once processed, so the professionals responsible for this step use both visual assessment and mechanical testing to guarantee uniformity. The meticulousness of this phase reflects a core principle of the industry. Luxury begins with selection. By filtering only the highest quality skins, the factory ensures that the subsequent stages of conservation, cleaning, and tanning have the ideal foundation to produce leather capable of meeting the demands of international brands. As the sorted skins move deeper into the production line, they carry with them the potential to become something extraordinary, and every decision made at this stage influences the transformation that will follow. The environment shifts from evaluation to preservation as the journey of each selected piece continues to evolve, shaped by both scientific precision and industrial expertise. Once the skins are selected and separated according to quality standards, the next critical challenge inside the factory is ensuring that each piece is preserved before any degradation can compromise its potential. Salmon skin is delicate by nature, and without immediate stabilization, it begins to break down rapidly due to residual enzymes and natural moisture. This is why the conservation stage is treated almost like a race against time. Workers trained in biochemical handling techniques apply precise methods to prevent bacterial growth and maintain the integrity of the collagen fibers that will become essential during the later transformation into luxury-grade leather. The conservation process typically involves controlled salting or refrigeration systems engineered to halt deterioration without altering the natural pattern of the scales. Industrial equipment regulates humidity and temperature to levels that preserve flexibility without allowing excess moisture to jeopardize the next steps of production. Every skin must retain the perfect balance between firmness and pliability, ensuring that when the time comes for mechanical processing, it responds consistently to each technique applied. The goal is to freeze the material in its most ideal state, as if pausing its biological clock just long enough for the upcoming chemical and mechanical treatments to take over. This stage also includes detailed tracking, where each batch is labeled and documented, allowing the factory to maintain a traceable history from raw material to finished luxury product. Traceability is not merely a matter of organization, it is a defining element of modern manufacturing, especially for brands that demand transparency regarding sourcing and sustainability. By preserving the skins with such precision, the factory ensures that every fiber, every scale, and every natural feature remains intact for the next transformation. As the preserved skins move forward through the production floor, the environment shifts, once again opening the way for one of the most demanding phases of all, where the material undergoes a complete structural preparation to reveal its hidden luxury potential. As the preserved skins enter the next stage of production, the factory shifts into a more intricate rhythm where precision and repetition define the quality of the outcome. Deep cleaning is one of the most demanding steps in the entire salmon leather process because it determines how well the material will respond to the chemical and mechanical treatments that follow. Salmon skin contains layers of fat, connective tissue, and microscopic residues that must be removed without damaging the natural scale pattern that makes this leather so distinctive. The balance required here is almost surgical. Too much force, and the fiber structure weakens. Too little, and impurities remain trapped, compromising durability and visual clarity. Technicians use specialized scraping tools and motorized equipment developed, specifically for thin, exotic skins. These machines operate with regulated pressure, designed to eliminate unwanted layers while preserving the natural geometry of the scales. Workers continuously inspect the surface, searching for inconsistencies or residual pockets that could interfere with the penetration of tanning agents. The cleaning solution itself is formulated to dissolve organic material while keeping the collagen matrix intact, an essential requirement for creating leather capable of withstanding dyeing, stretching, and long-term wear. Throughout the process, water temperature, pH levels, and mechanical timing are monitored with remarkable discipline. Every variable affects how the skin behaves, and even a minor deviation can alter the final texture. A properly cleaned skin begins to show its true potential, revealing patterns that will later become a defining feature of luxury accessories. This stage also serves as a checkpoint where any remaining imperfections are identified and removed from the production line, ensuring that only the most stable pieces progress to the tanning phase. Before we move on, I would like to hear from you. What part of this transformation surprises you most so far? Leave a comment sharing your impression about the complexity behind preparing such a delicate material. Your perspective adds value to this journey and helps deepen the understanding of what happens inside these factories as the process continues to unfold. With the skins now cleaned to their precise structural core, the factory enters one of the most transformative moments of the entire production chain, the tanning phase. This is where a fragile biological material becomes a durable, flexible, and long-lasting luxury resource capable of surviving years of use without degrading. Tanning is both chemistry and tradition, science and craftsmanship, and each manufacturer closely guards its proprietary formulas. What appears simple from the outside is, in reality, a carefully engineered sequence of controlled reactions that redefine the very identity of the material. The process begins by immersing the skins in specialized tanning baths designed to penetrate the collagen fibers without damaging the distinctive scale pattern. Unlike conventional leather, salmon skin requires delicate handling because its fibers run in a unique lateral orientation. To accommodate this, technicians adjust chemical concentrations, immersion times, and mechanical agitation to ensure uniform absorption. The tanning agents bond to the protein structure, stabilizing the skin and preventing it from decomposing or drying out over time. This reinforces the material against tearing, stretching, and environmental exposure. turning something inherently fragile into a textile surprisingly resilient for fashion and accessory applications. Temperature, pH levels, and solution density are monitored with near-laboratory precision. Even small fluctuations can shift the final texture, softness, or flexibility of the leather. During this phase, the skins also begin to take on the tactile qualities that define premium salmon leather. They become smoother, more elastic, and more receptive to future treatments like coloring and finishing. Workers examine each piece as it exits the tanning drums, feeling the surface and bending the material to evaluate its response. Any skin that fails to meet internal standards is removed, because inconsistency at this stage would be magnified in every subsequent step. Tanning serves as the backbone of the leather's identity, anchoring all the qualities that luxury brands seek: durability, richness of texture, and a distinctive natural pattern that cannot be replicated synthetically. As the skins leave this stage and progress deeper into the factory workflow, they are now stable enough to undergo more creative and visually expressive transformations that will shape their journey into high-end fashion materials. As the tanned skins move further along the production line, the factory enters a stage where science meets artistry in a remarkably precise balance. Coloring and pattern enhancement are not merely decorative steps. They are engineering processes that determine how each piece of salmon leather will fit into the world of luxury design. Unlike traditional leathers, salmon skin carries a natural pattern formed by its scale architecture, and this pattern becomes the foundation upon which industrial dyeing techniques build depth, vibrancy, and uniqueness. The challenge is to enrich the material's visual presence without overshadowing the distinctive marks that define its character. The skins are first conditioned to ensure they absorb pigments consistently. This involves controlled hydration and softening techniques that open the fiber network without compromising the structural integrity achieved during tanning. Once prepared, the skins are immersed in dye baths, where temperature, chemical concentration, and mechanical motion work together to infuse color evenly. Every detail matters. The fibers must take the pigment in a way that enhances the natural contrast between lighter and darker regions, preserving the organic flow created by the scale pattern. Technicians constantly monitor saturation levels, checking how the leather reacts as color builds across its surface. In some factories, advanced multi-layer dyeing is used to create tones that shift subtly under different lighting conditions. This adds dimensionality and sophistication to the material, making it suitable for high-end accessories that demand visual richness. Other batches are designed to maintain more natural hues, reflecting the organic origins of the raw material. These choices depend on the final application envisioned by luxury designers who rely on salmon leather for its ability to express elegance without the heavy appearance of traditional exotic skins. After coloring, the skins pass through processes that fix the pigments at a molecular level to ensure long-term stability. The goal is not only beauty, but durability, creating leather that resists fading, friction, and environmental exposure. Skilled workers inspect each piece, evaluating how the interplay between color and pattern has evolved during the treatment. Some skins emerge vibrant and bold, others subtle and refined, but each carries a unique identity shaped by both its natural origin and the controlled intervention of industrial craftsmanship. As they continue down the line, the next phase will bring even more precision, turning these expressive surfaces into materials prepared for finishing, strength, and refinement. Once the skins have achieved their final color expression, they enter one of the most sensitive and defining phases of the entire manufacturing chain: controlled drying and industrial finishing. This is the moment when salmon leather transitions from a saturated, malleable state into a stable luxury material ready for shaping, stitching, and long-term use. Drying may seem like a simple step, but within the factory it is treated as a precise science. Too much heat can cause shrinkage or distortion of the natural pattern, while insufficient airflow can trap moisture and compromise durability. To prevent these issues, technicians rely on calibrated drying chambers, where temperature, humidity, and ventilation are adjusted with extreme accuracy. The skins are carefully stretched onto frames or placed on specialized surfaces that prevent curling while maintaining the distinct geometry of the scale pattern. As they dry, the fibers settle into their final positions, locking in the flexibility achieved during tanning and preparing the leather for mechanical softening. Once the drying cycle is complete, Machines equipped with rollers, brushes, and pressure systems begin to work the leather to achieve the desired texture. Some designers prefer a smoother feel, while others request a more structured finish that highlights the natural topography of the salmon skin. Each finish reflects a combination of mechanical technique and the inherent qualities of the raw material. Following mechanical softening, the skins undergo surface treatments that enhance durability and aesthetic appeal. Transparent protective coatings may be applied to improve resistance to moisture and abrasion, while subtle conditioning agents bring out depth and tonal variation. These finishes are essential because they determine how the leather interacts with light, touch, and eventual wear. Quality inspectors continuously evaluate each piece, looking for irregularities in texture or areas where the drying or finishing stages may have affected the integrity of the pattern. Only the skins that demonstrate flawless uniformity and resilience continue forward in the production line. Before we continue, I would like to know your thoughts. Which part of this intensive finishing process caught your attention the most? Share your comment below and tell me what surprised you about how delicate and technical this stage truly is, as your insight helps highlight the hidden complexity behind every finished piece that emerges from this factory. As the fully dried and finished skins progress deeper into the factory workflow, they reach the stage where precision shifts from transformation to evaluation. This is the final quality selection, a crucial checkpoint that determines which pieces will advance into the luxury market and which will be redirected or discarded. Although the earlier stages establish durability, texture, and color integrity, the selection phase focuses on perfection. High-end designers expect consistency, and even minor irregularities that would go unnoticed in other materials become defining factors here. Quality inspectors analyze each skin under controlled lighting conditions designed to reveal variations in color saturation, patterning, alignment, and surface uniformity. Every centimeter is examined, often with magnifying tools, to detect micro defects such as uneven scale retention, overstretched fibers, or subtle distortions introduced during drying or finishing. These professionals develop an almost instinctive ability to identify flaws, distinguishing between acceptable natural variation and imperfections that compromise the aesthetic or structural integrity required for premium accessories. Beyond the visual inspection, the skins undergo mechanical tests that evaluate flexibility, tensile strength, and responsiveness to bending. These tests simulate what the leather will experience once it becomes part of a wallet, shoe, watch strap, or handbag. If the skin fails to recover properly from bending, or if inconsistencies appear under pressure, it is immediately removed from the selection lot. This level of scrutiny ensures that only the strongest and most visually refined pieces continue their journey. This stage also involves classification, where skins are graded according to criteria set by luxury brands. Higher grades receive priority for flagship designs, while lower grades may be used for smaller accessories or experimental collections. Each classification reflects a combination of natural uniqueness and industrial precision, acknowledging that no two salmon skins are ever truly identical. The process reinforces the value of the material, transforming each approved piece into a premium component, ready to be shaped by skilled designers. As the inspected skins move forward, they carry not just the story of their transformation, but the promise of becoming distinctive elements in the next chapter of luxury craftsmanship. After the skins have passed the rigorous quality selection, they finally reach the stage where industrial refinement meets creative interpretation. This is the moment when designers and specialized artisans begin transforming the graded salmon leather into customized materials tailored for high-end accessories. While the factory ensures structural consistency and surface excellence, it is in the customization phase that individuality emerges. Each piece of salmon leather carries natural patterns shaped by the fish's anatomy, and designers use these irregularities not as flaws, but as distinct characteristics that elevate the exclusivity of the final product. The customization process begins with precise cutting, where artisans map out the most visually striking areas of each skin. Because salmon leather is narrow and elongated, specialists must work with exceptional skill to maximize usable surface area without compromising the scale pattern. The cuts must follow the structural lines of the leather, ensuring that the grain direction aligns with the intended function of the accessory. A small misalignment may weaken the piece or distort the pattern once assembled, making this step far more technical than it appears at first glance. Once the leather is cut, Additional treatments may be applied depending on the designer's vision. Some pieces receive embossed textures that enhance depth without obscuring the natural scale geometry. Others undergo subtle polishing or matte finishing to match the aesthetic of luxury collections. Color enhancements can also be added, such as layered shading that intensifies the contrast of the scale pattern or refined glazing techniques that give the leather a soft, reflective sheen. These artistic adjustments transform each skin into a material with a unique identity, ready to be incorporated into accessories that emphasize craftsmanship and exclusivity. Finally, the prepared leather pieces are matched, paired, and organized for production. This involves comparing patterns, tones, and textures to create harmonious sets for items like wallets, belts, and small leather goods. Because salmon leather varies naturally, this matching process is essential to achieving visual unity in the final product. The work demands attention to detail and a deep understanding of how slight differences will appear once the accessory is fully assembled. As these curated materials leave the customization area, they are poised to become part of creations that blend industrial mastery with artistic expression, continuing the evolution that began long before the leather reached this stage. As the customized leather pieces leave the hands of designers and move into the final stages of luxury manufacturing, the broader impact of salmon leather becomes impossible to ignore. What began as a discarded byproduct of the fishing industry has evolved into a premium material recognized worldwide for its sustainability, beauty, and performance. In an era where conscious consumption shapes the choices of high-end brands, salmon leather stands as a compelling example of how innovation and responsibility can coexist within the same production chain. The factories that specialize in this material operate at the intersection of environmental efficiency and industrial precision, proving that luxury no longer depends solely on rarity, but on intelligent transformation. This shift in perspective has encouraged major designers to rethink the role of alternative materials in their collections. Salmon leather offers a lightweight feel, a distinctive texture, and a durability that rivals traditional exotic skins while avoiding many of the ethical and ecological concerns associated with them. Its natural grain, formed by the original scale architecture, creates a visual identity that cannot be reproduced synthetically. Each finished accessory carries the imprint of this journey, from raw fish skin to a refined piece of craftsmanship shaped by technology, skill, and creative vision. As global markets evolve, demand for sustainable luxury continues to rise, positioning salmon leather as a forward-looking choice for brands that want to stand out. The factories behind this material are also contributing to a broader shift in the industry. By converting waste into valuable resources, they reduce environmental impact while generating new economic opportunities. This circular approach supports both the fishing sector and the fashion world, demonstrating how different industries can collaborate to create innovative solutions. The process you have followed throughout this video reveals not only the complexity of the transformation, but also the philosophy behind it. Every stage, from selection to customization, reinforces the idea that luxury can be both beautiful and accountable when guided by thoughtful manufacturing. If you reach this point, it means you appreciate the depth behind these processes, and I would like to invite you to stay connected with this kind of content. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you do not miss the next deep dive into the world of industrial craftsmanship. Leave a comment saying the phrase "I am with you" until the end, so I know you followed the full journey behind salmon leather. Your like also supports the work that goes into bringing these stories to life and helps more people discover the fascinating world hidden behind everyday products. And if you want to continue exploring, there is another video here that expands on themes closely connected to what you learned today. Click and follow me there as we uncover more secrets from inside the factories that shape the luxury industry.